Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, taken to wife, nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all, our thanks. Now follows that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death, our state to be disjoint and out of frame, hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father. So much for him. Thus much the business is. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who impotent and bedrid scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gait herein. And we here dispatch you, good Voltimand, for bearer of this greeting to old Norway. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty.
In that and all things will I show my duty.
We doubted nothing. Heartily, farewell. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is't, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France, from whence, though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess that, duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father. You are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood. Forward, not permanent. It's sweet, not lasting. No more.
No more but so?
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, but you must fear. His greatness weighed, his will is not his own. Then, if he says he loves you, then it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as far as he in his particular act and place may give this saying deed. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whiles, like a puffed and reckless libertine himself, the primrose path of dalliance treads and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long, for here my father comes. You're muted.
Can't hear you.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard, for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord. Farewell, Ophelia, and remember what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is't, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as it behooves my daughter and your honor.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Pooh, you speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Marry, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you've ta'en these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Aye, fashion, you may call it. Go to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
I do know, when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, extinct in both, even in their promise as it is a making, you must not take for fire. From this time, be somewhat scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command to parley. For Lord Hamlet believes so much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given you. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slandered any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
You check my teeth.
Yeah. Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Right here.
Yeah, just like brush up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We're good. We got this.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? So call it, sith nor the exterior, nor the inward man resembles that it was, what it should be, more than his father's death, that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am to men there are not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have over us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay ourselves freely at your feet, to be commended.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, both of you.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and peaceful to him.
Aye. Amen.
How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what? In the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, and downjived to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. Well, that done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the will to desperate undertakings, as oft as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his fetters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle, and meant to rack thee. But beshrew my jealousy. By heaven, it is as proper to our age to cast ourselves in our opinions as it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which being kept close might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. The ambassador from Norway, my good lord, is joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? I assure my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as it hath used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassador. My news shall be the fruit to that great feast.
Thyself do grace to them, and bring her in. Welcome, my good friend. Say, Voltimand, what from our brother Norway?
Most fair return of greetings and desires. Upon our first, he sent out to suppress his nephew's levies, which to him appeared to be preparation against the Polish. But better looked into, he truly found it was against your majesty, whereat grieved that so his sickness, age, and impotence was falsely borne in hand, sends out arrests on Fortinbras, which he, in brief, obeys, receives rebuke from Norway, and, in fine, makes vow before his uncle to never more give the assay of arms against your majesty. Whereon old Norway, overcome with joy, gives him 3,000 crowns in annual fee, and his commission to employ those soldiers so levied as before against the Polish, with an entreaty herein further shown, that it might please you to give quiet pass through your dominions for this enterprise, on such regards of safety and allowance as therein are set down.
It likes us well, and at our more considered time will read, answer, and think upon this business. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labor. Go to your rest. At night we'll feast together. Most welcome home.
This business is well ended. My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it. For to define true madness, what is but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. I have a daughter. Well, she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise.
To the celestial in my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia.
Nah, that's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. But you shall hear thus.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while. I will be faithful.
Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. O dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best. Believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him. Hamlet.
This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and more above hath his solicitings, as they fell out by time, by means and place, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think when I had seen this hot love on the wing, as I perceived it, I must tell you that before my daughter told me, what might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak, Lord Hamlet is a prince. Out of thy star, this must not be. And then I prescripts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens. Which done, she took the fruits of my advice. And he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness, wherein he now raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, very likely.
Hath there been such a time, I'd fain know that I have positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the center.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras, then mark the encounter. If he loves her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for estate, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
But look where sadly the poor wretch comes.
Oh, away! I do beseech you both, away! God save you, sir.
And can you, by no drift of circumstance, get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman,
But with much forcing of his disposition.
sparing of question, but of our demands most free in his reply.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we o'erwrought on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are about the court, and as I think they have already ordered this night to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown, and I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I have seen, see what I see.
Love, his affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul o'er which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclose will be some danger, which, for to prevent, I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England, for the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply the seas and countries different with variable objects shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts him thus from fashion of himself. It shall be so. Madness and great ones must not unwatched go.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round, Neptune's salt wash, and Tellus' orbit ground, and 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen about the world have times 12 30s been, since love our hearts and Hymen did our hands unite, commutal in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again come or ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late. Oh, so far from cheer and from your former state, that I distrust you. Yet, though I distrust, discomfort you, my lord, it nothing must. For women's fear and love holds quantity, in neither aught or in extremity. Now, what my love is, proof hath made you know, and as my love is sized, my fear is so. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are fear. Where little fears grow great, great love grows there.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly to my operant powers their functions leave to do, and thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and haply one as kind for husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest. Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second but who killed the first. The instances that second marriage move are base respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I kill my husband dead. When second husband kisses me in bed.
I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we do determine, oft we break. Our wills and faiths do so contrary run that our devices still are overthrown. Our thoughts are ours, their ends none of our own. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth to give me food, nor heaven light, sport and repose locked from me day and night. To desperation turn my trust and hope, an anchor's cheer in prison be my scope. Each opposite that blanks the face of joy, meet what I would have well and it destroy. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife, if, once a widow, ever I be wife.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Oh, sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain. Oh.
Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. Thou, mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's ban, thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life usurp immediately.
The king rises.
How fares my lord?
Give her the play.
Away! I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore, prepare you. I, your commission, will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our state may not endure hazard so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of his lunacies.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon this fear, which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll convey myself to hear the process. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray, can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause, where I shall first begin and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder! No, this cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offence's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state! Oh, bosom black as death! Oh, limed soul that struggling to be free art more engaged! Help, angels! Make us say! Bow, stubborn knees! And heart with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Oh, my good Lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad, as when the sea and wind, when both contend, which is the mightier. In his lawless fit behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries, a rat, a rat. And in this brainish apprehension, kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. It had been so with us, had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. But so much was our love, we would not understand what was most fit. But like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it even feed on the pith of life. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed. He weeps for what is done.
The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. In this vile deed, we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho, Rosencrantz! Friend, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go, seek him out. Speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, haste in this. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends and let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay. How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord. Guarded, to know your pleasure.
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done that else leans on the affair. Pray you, make haste. And England, if my love thou holdest at aught, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full by letters congruing to this effect. The present death of Hamlet. Do it, England! For like the hectic in my blood, he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
Go, captain, from me greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license, Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom. You know the rendezvous. If that his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye, and let him know so.
I will do it, my lord.
Go, softly on.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hymns, and beats her heart, spawns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing. 'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures and ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy as guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spent.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia? Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you? Nay, pray you, Mark.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you, Mark.
Alas, look here, my lord.
How do you, pretty lady?
Will God yield you? They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed. Law, without an oath, I'll make an end on it.
How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions.
Alack, what noise is this?
What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. The ocean overpeering of its lists, eats not the flats with more impetuous haste than a young Laertes and a riotous head overbears your officers. The rebel call him Lord, and as the world were now but to begin, antiquity forgot, custom not known, the ratifies and props of every word they cry. Choose we, Laertes shall be king, Laertes shall be king, Laertes king.
How cheerfully on the false trail they cry.
Where is this king? Sirs, stand you all without.
No, let's come in.
I pray you, give me leave.
We will. We will.
O thou vile king, give me my father.
Calmly, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard. Cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot, even here, between the chaste, unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our persons. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed? Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience, grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence, let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
Oh, my will? Not all the world. And for my means, I'll husband them so well they shall go far with a little.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is it writ in your revenge that you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends, thus wide I'll ope my arms, and like the kind, life-rendering pelican, repass them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment peer as day does to your eye.
Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh heavens, can it be that a young maid's wits are as moral as an old man's life? Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis fine it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
Oh, how the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter.
As nothing's more than matter.
There's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there is pansies. That's for thoughts.
A document in madness. Thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you, and columbines. There's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it herb grass of Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end.
thought and affliction. Hell itself, she turns to favor and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? No. No. He is dead. He never will come again. He is gone. He is gone. God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray, God, God be with ye.
Do you see this? Oh God!
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we can ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, nor attachment o'er his bones, no noble right, nor formal ostentation, cries to be heard from heaven to earth that I must call in question.
So you shall, and where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
What are they that would speak with me? I do
There's,
not know from what part of the world I should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet.
there's a letter for you, sir. It comes from the ambassador that was bound for England.
Horatio, when thou shalt overlook this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thy ear will make thee dumb, yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest thine, Hamlet.
Now must your conscience my acquittance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. Sith you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature, as by your safety, wisdom, all things else were humanely were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons. which may to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, but yet to me they are strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either, which she's so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public count I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affection, would like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, and not where I had aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose word, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on the mount of all the age for her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it past time. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty, and this to the queen.
From Hamlet. Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so you do not o'errule me to a peace.
To thine own peace? If he be now returned as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. Now, out of this.
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think that you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof time qualifies the spark and fire. But to the quick of the ulcer, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son indeed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home, will put on those shall praise your excellence and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that but dip a knife in it where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore, this project should have a back or second that might hold if this should blast in proof. Soft. Let me see. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh. Where?
There is a willow, grows aslant a brook, that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come, crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. There on the pendant boughs are coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke. Down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas then. She is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia. Therefore I forbid my tears. But yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. My lord, I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow. I pray you, wait upon him.
The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between yourself and Laertes, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me. Give them the foils, Voldemort. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager? Set me the stoups of wine upon that table.
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay, give me drink, Hamlet. This pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Our son shall win.
Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is Laertes?
As a woodcock to mine own spring, sir, I am justly killed with mine own treachery.
Look to the queen there. Oh,
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, the drink, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink, the drink. Oh, I am poisoned.
Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. Lo, the trick hath turned itself on me. Here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
treason. Treason!
Oh, yet defend me, friends. I am but hurt.
Oh, my dear Hamlet.
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 Hamlet. Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Where is this sight?
What is it you would see if aught of woe or wonder sees your search?
This quarry cries on havoc. Oh, proud death, what beast is torn in thine eternal cell that thou so many princes at a shot so bloodily hast struck?
Sight is dismal, and our affairs from England come too late. The ears are senseless that should give us hearing to tell him his commandment is fulfilled, that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth had the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their deaths. But since so jump upon this bloody question, you from the Polish wars and you from England are here arrived, give orders that these bodies high on the stage be placed to the view. And let me speak to the yet unknowing world, how these things came about. So shall you hear of cardinal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of death put on by cunning and force caused, and in this upshot, purposes mistook, fallen on the inventor's head. All this can I truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my vantage doth invite me. Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royally. And for his passage, the soldier's music and rites of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.
There's a roadway, muddy and foxglove. Never I'd have life enough. My heart is screaming out. And in a few days, I will be there, love. Whatever here that's left of me is yours just as it was. Just as it was, baby, before the otherness came. And I knew its name. Drug the dark, the light, the flame. The heights at the heights of my baby. It's hope had the fight of my baby. The lights were as bright as my baby. But your love was unmoved.
Congratulations, you guys.
Yay!
Good. I would, hey, excuse me, can I talk
We
to them?
did the thing.
Excuse me, can I speak to the cast, please? Let me check. You guys did so well.